All right, hey everyone. So my name is Delane, and I'm the organizing co-chair for Black Youth Project 100.
I'm Autumn Robinson. I am the membership co-chair for Black Youth Project 100 New York City chapter.
Yes. So BYP 100, Black Youth Project 100, is an activist member-based organization of 18 to 35-year-old Black youth who are fighting for Black liberation. What does that mean? It means social, political, educational, all the types of freedom that Black people just don't have. The project is that we recently went to the International Association Chief of Police convening in Chicago, where there are 16,000 cops all in one place. And so these 16,000 cops are all in this space to talk about how to make our community safer. But the question that we all had was, what does safety mean?
So the three questions that we've been asking are, what's your biggest fear when it comes to police presence in your community? The second question is, have you ever been harassed by the NYPD? And if so, what do you think the reason was? And then the third question is, what does safety look like to you?
And so we thought it was really important to connect and go to our community and talk to our Black people, because there's always this narrative not when we're not hearing the stories, or we're not really listening to the voices and the pain of Black people who are going to be directly affected by these 1,300 new cops. We've been hitting the streets. We've been going to all over the 5 boroughs, and we've also been intentional about going to different organizations such as Schomburg, and making sure we have a really inclusive representation of all Black people.
This was, we thought, a very apropos way to start tonight's conversation. This is Conversations in Black Freedom Studies. The 3 historians we have for us tonight are going to kind of help us think through where we are today, in part by thinking through the history of policing in the city and policing people of color in the city, and sort of how we've gotten to where we have gotten to. I'm tremendously honored to invite 3 amazing scholars to the stage. The first is Mary Frances Berry, who is a huge personal hero of mine, who teaches at the University of Pennsylvania. LaShawn, who has come from Michigan State University, and Shannon King, who is here from the College of Worcester. So everybody traveled to be with us tonight, so we are so grateful to have you, and please welcome them.
Race, gender, and class prejudice and a lack of legal protection made African American women prime targets for state-sanctioned violence. Police brutality was not only limited to physical altercations between law enforcement and Black women. Physical and sexual violence occurred when women encountered criminal informants.
So as a kid born in the early 1970s and coming of age in the 1980s in Harlem and the South Bronx, I had a heightened awareness of the police presence in my neighborhood. The relationship between Black New York and the police was unrelentingly violent. Black people were over-policed and under-policed. Between 1900 and 1935, as the neighborhood of Harlem shifted from a white to a Black community, anti-Black violence shifted from white civilian and police violence to primarily police brutality.
And before I came here with the commission to do a hearing, public hearing, we had already investigated the police departments in Los Angeles, where there were huge complaints about police abuse, and in Chicago, and in Detroit, and other places around the country, and done reports on them. Stop and frisk was still a huge issue, and that 90% of the stops in 6 of the 10 precincts with the lowest Black and Latino populations had Blacks and Latinos who were the people who were getting stopped. And when I saw that, I said, what's going on here? If they implemented all these things that they said they were going to implement, why is all of this still happening? When you are in public space, rather than a person who's given the benefit of the doubt when you raise a question, like, why do I have to, I was just asleep. You are a person who gets no benefit of the doubt.
In many ways, we have to rely on ourselves, and so we can't expect the police or politicians to do anything until we force them to, until we push them to. So that's part of our tradition, and I think we have to keep on doing it.
There are all these procedural things, but you can work on trying to get some of them done. And what protest is about is trying to increase the possibility that you might get something done. Whereas if you don't have protests, you won't get anything done.
I'm not sure if the concern should be about showing other people or proving to other people that we are worthy of respectability or citizenship or humanity. We know that we are, but I think we have to just continuously tell each other that, and we really have to educate our children in the homes, in the classrooms, within your churches, within your community centers, any type of institution that we are creating, we have to instill that knowledge within our children.